Last time on Scum and Villainy, the crew were faced once again with the meddlesome Yar clan. Just as negotiations were heating up, the unmistakable sound of starships and repulsor drives were heard. The Empire has found the Saw in the lore. Okay.
I'm back if you guys were waiting on me, sorry.
Yeah, we're not waiting on you. When you get a chance here, get us a light side, dark side roll so we can see. I'm voting for 2 dark side points.
Oh, come on, light side. 2 light side points, I'll take that.
That just sucks. You suck. But just to make you feel good, Shock, your strain threshold is lowered by 2 for the session because yours was the one that was triggered when I rolled the obligation table.
Gotcha. All right, so let me go. So I need to lower the threshold, you said.
Just deduct 2 off of it. Just remember when you heal back at any time, you can't get it. You can't go all the way back to full. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
You're stressed out because your betrayal is bothering you for some reason tonight. Maybe it's because you're helping all these people or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. Could I just add? So my normal threshold is 10. Could I just add 2 to the current, and then just remember I can't drop below that 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's giving me a weird thing when I try to place it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so we last left off. You had been working with Captain Harsall to figure out a quick battle plan as the Imperial ship had went overhead. And last I remember, I think you offed the head of the Yar clan and all of them except for what's his name here, Tulo, who was just a hired member, the pilot. I think someone promoted him to captain of his own ship now.
Maybe something kind of like that.
Something kind of like that. Promoted to captain of his own ship, and you were getting geared up because you knew the Empire was coming. Because when he talked to the couple guys on their ship, he had reported on the Yar ship. They reported back that the Imperials had landed not too far from them. Harsala started barking out orders. His old Clone Wars era alarm klaxon begins sounding in the base. Outside, you hear scurries of activity. The battle droids begin dispersing to the walls to defend the retreat, as they call it. And you see people, because there were some big people in the room, they begin grabbing weapons, arming themselves. Some of them begin to disappear into buildings around the perimeter and disappearing completely out of sight. So they must have some kind of hidey holes or something in their little structures. Basically, the retreat itself is getting ready to deal combat. At the same time that happens, you hear in the not too far distance from where you guys are at, you hear the unmistakable high-pitched whine of Imperial speeder bikes. I'm just going to put those right there just so we know that they're there. And you can see I've already put the combat chart up because we'll be starting out with a firefight tonight.
So so we're currently inside one of the buildings, though, right?
Yeah, you're in their main one of the biggest structures in the building, the 2-story building where they it looks like it functions as a meeting hall, a place for them to talk, get together, plan. The upper floors appear to be someone's residence, probably the captain's, maybe, or maybe Carlotta's, the engineer. Carlotta, as soon as the alarm starts sounding, she scurries out the door and heads toward her thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the plan was you were going to cram a bunch of you guys onto your all ship for transport off. Some were going to go with Tulo to his ship to get off, and you were going to try to capture the Imperial ship? Is that what I remember? Did I remember that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
See, I thought we were meeting them at the gate.
Well,
and doing a siege. I don't remember.
Okay. We can work that into it easy enough. Because the repulsor, the high pitch repulsor engines are getting closer. And actually, I have already placed on there.
We saw the Imperial ship fly over, or we only heard the engines.
You heard the engines from
us?
inside, and then Chulo's people, the people that are still back on his ship, he hasn't revealed to them that the others are dead. Reported that they spotted it.
Okay.
And you can see I put you guys in one group here. There's one group of battle droids with you guys. Another two groups have one group with you guys. The other band here, next one to your right, that's the defenders on the wall. The survivor groups are groups of 10. The droids are groups of 2. That one, 2, and that one. Yeah. Okay. So it should be the larger group. Yeah.
What kind of weapons do the survivors have?
They have a mix of old blasters, but based on what Harsal told you, most of them don't have much in the way of ammunition for them. Maybe 2 or 3 shots each, and then they'll have to resort to some kind of other weaponry. The battle droids have about 10 shots per rifle.
By the way, weren't we, didn't we scavenge, or is there not enough time to take the power cells from the, Yaya's ship?
Yes, that was one of the plans you all discussed, that there would be, and Chulo did say they had more ammunition on their ship, of course, but it's on their ship, and it's outside the gates of the retreat, so someone have to go get that.
And the speeders are currently approaching the gates, I guess, but
they're approaching. You don't know exactly where they're approaching to, but the sounds are getting closer.
Okay.
How many power cells do we have on our ship?
I would assume each one would carry probably at least one more clip or cylinder of Tabana gas. Really, the big problem is not the power; it's the Tabana gas that the blasters function off of. That's the issue.
Right.
But I would assume you would at least have one more each of those. Star Wars games have always historically not tracked ammo because, when have you ever seen someone run out of ammo in Star Wars?
No, never. At least not in the movies.
Yeah, I think I've seen someone clip up, sort of putting in a fresh one, but
exactly. But they never seem to run out, unless. And actually, the way it's written in the game mesh section is we don't track ammo unless you need to increase the tension in the session. So in this case, we do have a little bit of ammo tracking going on. In my case, droids only have 10 shots right now. So let's start putting things in motion. The repulsor lists are getting closer. What are we doing?
do you want to try and lure him in? Make him think we're maybe a outpost or something? Try and trick him in close?
Yeah, I like that idea. Just kind of open the gates and let them come in, and then close the gates behind them. And
Yeah, if we get the guys on the wall to hide, or at the very least get them in between us.
Put them in a
Nice
kill
little
zone.
crossfire.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion roll against Harsal because he's a little unnerved that the Empire. I mean, keep in mind, this guy's hidden from the Empire for all these years, and the Empire's on his front doorstep, so you're gonna have to make a persuasion roll.
Would that be negotiation?
Negotiation.
Yeah, I have no.
I've fallen back on my Star Wars, my D&D terms. And in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Difficulty's 5.
I have no skill in negotiation. Does anybody else? Or no,
I have nothing in negotiation.
Yeah, no rank.
I'll give it a try. I have.
Oh no!
Remember, you have light side, dark side points. It'd be 5 purple.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's very stacked. I'm gonna have to roll legendary.
Okay.
Oh, there you
my
go.
God.
Man, that's crazy.
And this is why I like the storytelling dice. I mean, I purposely said you guys.
7 threat though.
Yeah. What is 7 threats? Ooh.
Well, let's see. Just refresh my memory real quick on how I spend threat.
Gonna be the one in front.
Triumph, threat, despair. Okay, I could say that's 7 strain because you're talking, but that's an awful lot of strain. No despair though. You did succeed. You massively succeeded. That's just awesome.
It's so funny.
Character falls. Okay, those are more combat related. Okay, so let's do it this way. Roxy goes into a massive quick talking with Harsal. You can see Harsal it's begin to sink into him that the Empire is here, and he's almost on the verge of blaming you all collectively, the Tulo group, your group as well as the fall. And Roxy just steps in and just starts quick talking, laying out the plans here. Let's do a Trojan horse. Let's bring him into gates. Let's shoot him down from the top. And you begin to see Harsal's resolve start to firm up as he recognizes the tactic that you guys are hashing out quickly to him, and he resolves and he goes, and he sees by the end he's nodding along, and he finally turns to, and he starts issuing orders to the droids. The droids start disappearing, and outside, of course, you can't, if you look out the gates, because you can see the inside of the walls from where you're at. The guards in the gate towers, because there's like a palisade there that they can stand behind, they begin to crouch down behind the gates to tuck out of the way. His troops start hiding themselves, taking up positions in the huts along the main road. Everything's starting to fall into place for you. We'll get to that threat in a minute, though. So everything starts to fall into place, and just as they get into the final places, the wine stops. The repulsor lifts arrive at the front gate. And you hear the audible click of a loudhailer. Oh, crap. What's the dude's name? What's the captain's name? Oh, crap. Hold on, guys. There's a click. I'm going to bring him visible. I'll move him up the top just because I got other things stacked here as well. You hear this clipped, and sorry, Marcus, British accented, because for some reason in Star Wars the Imperials are always British. I don't know why. It's just the way
they're
write.
bad. Those Brits are real bad.
You hear this
I know.
Which I really think it should have been German, because all the uniforms are based off German uniforms. But anyway,
That's true. Yeah.
do you know the story behind
True,
that?
but we had the better Empire.
Do you know the story behind that? Why the uniforms were like Nazi?
I mean, I was gonna say, they just modeled them after Nazis because they thought that would be,
you got to
scary.
remember that Star Wars, the first Star Wars, the New Hope, was a B budget movie when it was produced. So literally, they raided the production warehouses, uniform shops for uniforms, and they had all these World War II uniforms. That's what
Most
they
of the guns are World War II modified weapons as well.
Exactly.
Huh.
Which is why that the Empire has the gray of the Nazi uniforms. They were just repurposed Nazi uniforms from various World War II flicks. So you hear this click. I'm not even going to try to do a British accent because I'm not horrible, especially not having an actual Brit in the group to laugh at me. Attention inside. This is, what's his name? No. Cal Alson of the Empire. Attention aside. This is Cal Alson of the Empire. Is Captain Harsal present in the structure? Harsal literally goes white as a sheet, guys, and just falls apart. He starts clambering up into the ladder, and he looks down at the group, and you can tell he is pasty white. He looks down at the person, because you can't see him because he's on the outside the closed gate. And I'm Captain Harsal. How may I help you? And an exchange occurs back and forth between the two. I'm not going to RP that whole out there because this is me doing both voices there. Eventually, Harsal agrees to let them in the gate. So he lets them in the gate. And let me... Not that. There we go. A total of 6 speeder bikes roll into up the middle ramp, and Harsal comes down the ramp, and he walks kind of up the road a little piece. And no sooner does this happen that someone on the wall fires. That's where your threat came from. Actually, no, here you go. You hear, much to your cringe, Roxy, you hear a battle droid voice say, "Get up!" So, with that said, actually, I'll just do it this way. You look into your thing, you will see where you can roll for your initiative. So go ahead and give me a roll for initiative. Crap. Remove combatant.
Is that vigilance again, or is that a different?
Vigilance or cool.
Or cool.
Or sorry, discipline or cool. Actually, if you look in the charts, you can just as it pops up there. I gotta fix Tulo here real quick. Token.
Mine are both the same, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I thought it was vigilance and cool, but you said it's discipline and
vigilant. Yeah, it's vigilance and cool. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have to run down. I'll be back.
Okay.
Depending on how this combat goes, each one will probably try and take out their speeders so they can't get away.
Okay.
But I will leave you guys to make the most intelligent decision with him.
Okay.
I'll try and be back quick.
Okay, I'm seeing rolls come in there. Let's see, did Yitram roll?
No,
he did not. I got him.
Okay. And it should be on the fist.
Yeah, on the fist.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it for.
I see Shock. You're third from the bottom on my screen.
I don't have a number though. I haven't rolled anything, so I'm not sure how I'm.
Just click the die.
There's no die though. I'm not seeing a die there. Hold on. Maybe I'm.
So it's off to the far right, so maybe it might be off the screen a bit.
Maybe I need to drag it. Oh, yeah, I think okay, hold on.
No problem.
It's your aspect ratio or something, is it?
Yeah, it must be, because I'm not seeing a die even when I drag it out. Let's see.
Okay. When you get the fist on the screen there, you should have the list of the...
Yeah, I see my name on the list, but there's no die next to my name.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to drop you off the list.
Oh, wait. There was no die, but I just clicked on the right-hand side, and it popped up the little menu thing. So let me roll.
Yeah, roll this.
The little icon just wasn't showing up for some reason.
Yep, there it comes. Okay. And let me cheat. And
nice.
I love the one thing in this system. There's actually a button for me to roll all NPCs at one time.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I can just do
so many dice.
No, I think... Go ahead.
No, nothing. Go ahead.
So I think all these are set right. We're going to see in a second, hopefully. Let me switch these over to combat. Yes. It did work like it's supposed to. What I had to fix Tulo so he was a friendly, not a hostile. Okay. So,
So, can you give me a little summary again of our current
Yeah.
whereabouts or whatever? So we're inside the building, but we heard all of this
No,
conversation.
You guys had stepped out of the building as
Okay, so we are in the
yeah.
okay. We're in
As-
the
as
outer
everything-
yard or whatever.
Yeah, as everybody was getting set up, and then you watched as Harsal went up there, and you saw him go white as a sheet.
When they said his name or
when they called his name, because they
Okay.
knew at that point they knew who he was. They knew. What
And
they
did
were looking
we see who fired the shot? It was one of the
for.
defenders.
It is one of the battle droids.
One of the battle droids fired.
One of
Sorry.
the battle
Okay.
droids fired.
All right.
In fact, let me.
But we cannot currently see the speeders because they're outside the gates.
No, they pulled into the gates. The gates have opened, and they came in,
Oh, okay.
and they were just on the inside of the gate whenever the battle droid fired. In fact, let me get a sheet up here real quick. You're in equipment. Worn out blaster. There.
And
it's
are
one
the
of those-
Rangers right?
Yep, the Rangers are right. So it's going to be 2 purple for this one. No, not 2 purple. Same band as 1 die. 2 die. Yeah, I was right. Right the first time. 2 purple.
It's so weird. All the images on the initiative tracker are like broken. All of a sudden.
Holy crap. So one of the droids fires. Well, a group of them actually open fire, but because there's 5 in that group. And they actually hit. Oh my God. Wow.
Is someone gonna get killed by a B1? A broken B1?
Yeah. Actually, one of the troopers dies. These are scout troopers, but one of the scout troopers actually gets slammed by a barrage of bolts and hits the ground dead. And then we'll turn it over to you guys, because you got to have the first friendly initiative.
All right. What do we want to do? I mean, Shock
Yeacham
has had
Yeacham said he was going to shoot at speeders.
at the speeders themselves.
Yeah, the speeders themselves.
So they can't get away. Although it would be nice in some ways to have those speeders.
Well, I agree with you. That's what Yeacham said he was doing before he left. So.
Yeah, no, that makes some tactical sense as well,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they can't get away and get back to their home ship. I mean, it's up to Roxy, but I mean, Shock is
You
happy
can
to
go
take a shot.
first.
Okay, all right. I'll take a shot with my.
Okay. Are you shooting at troopers or are you shooting at the officer?
Oh, the officer for sure. Always
Okay.
take out the head of the.
Yeah, just-
cut the head of the snake off every
Just
time.
make sure
All
I know
right.
who you're shooting. That's all.
So I'm gonna take a shot with my bowcaster,
Okay.
which I believe I can do straight from bowcaster, right? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah, just click on if you click on the bowcaster, looks like a little bag at the beginning. It should turn into a die on your equipment sheet. Or you can hover over and go to the top stuff and get your weapons up there.
Oh wait. So if you hover over it,
Hover
there,
it.
yeah, there. I see it. There's something weird going. What's the difficulty?
In this case, it'd be 2.
2. Okay.
And there's the roll.
Whoa.
Shot goes wide, slams into the dirt beside him. He swerves on his bike. Probably as a result of seeing one of his troopers. he swerved just at the right moment to avoid running over his dead trooper. And that causes your shot to go wide, Shock.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I guess I could begin combat there, couldn't I?
Just to let you know, I'm having a little trouble. Icons and images on Forge are like showing up as broken images, with the little icon with the like broken picture. Yeah.
Okay.
So occasionally might take me a minute to find the die or whatever to
Okay.
roll because I can't see it. I'm having
If you
to
want to try
hover over it.
refreshing while we're moving.
Yeah, maybe I will while everybody else is going.
Okay. So, quickly recognizing the intent, the hostile intent, Agent Cal, the officer, he guns his speeder bike into a quick turn and moves away from you quickly and begins fumbling something on his pad. on his pad, but his controls. He's not going to attack because he's too busy doing other things. And that brings it around to our friendly. Now remember, you got you guys, or I can have some of the droids go if you need to.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
So he's 3 bands away, which is long.
Right.
Which is 3 difficulty, right?
Yep. Difficulty
But
per range band, basically.
but my pistol is it decreases by 1 purple because I think it has the ability to DE10.
I think so. Let me check it just to make sure that I'm pretty sure that's what I remember. Which pistol, the dissuader or the D10? You said.
The D10.
Yeah, you said
DE10.
Yeah, accurate quality. Come on, give me the information. Do difficulty combat checks for long and extreme by 1. Yep. So since he's at long range, that would be reduced by 1. So.
And I'm gonna aim to give it a boost.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot that officer right in the back.
I assume you're shooting at him, not his ride.
Yeah, at him.
Look at that. Oh, let's see. 1 success and a triumph.
Nicely done.
And a critical as well.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough event?
3 advantage on it, yeah. No, you need 3 successes. You only get 1 success.
I forgot.
That's okay. But that triumph. Advantage or a triumph. You can either use that to add a bonus to the next ally's attack. You can notice some important action or something going on in the conflict to help with things, maybe a blast or something like that. Here, you might notice something to be of benefit for you, or you can inflict a critical injury, which is really not going to help you here because it's that character. He is not going to help you. Oh, or you can activate a weapon's quality. That weapon got a quality on it? And pulling your sheet back up, Roxy.
I don't know.
Let me get the details up on that real quick. No, its quality's accurate. So.
There's no knockback effect?
No, unfortunately not. Okay, but regardless, he takes 7 points of damage because you nailed him.
What? If I give him a status effect, he might get something like poor sighted or something. I don't know.
You could. I'll let you spend that triumph on a critical for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me roll critical here. Let's see what you get. Let's see. Critical injury. Roll critical.
Because those speeder bikes are.
Discouraging wound. Yeah. Quit griping about that. I'm allowing it. Just shut up. System's going, you can't do that. It's like, yeah, I can if I want to.
Okay, I'm back. Am I dead?
No, you're not dead. Though the chief, the officer has decided to try to flee for some reason when they started getting shot at. Unfortunately, before that happened, or before he got too far away, Roxy pegged him with a pistol. And let's see what Discouraging Wound has. Flip 1 light side destiny point to the dark side. Oh, so I have to do that. You all get a light side point out of that.
Yeah. And that does it for me because I aimed.
Okay. Another friendly action that could be either Yeatram or some of Harsal's people. Your call.
Just to reorient myself, how many people are there speeders in the compound? Is everyone still outside the walls?
There's speeders in the compound except for the one that the officer is on. He is now speeding away. There is
one trooper died.
Yeah, there's one trooper on the ground.
The B1's got him.
Yeah, the B1 shot him off his bike.
Unlucky for him. Do we want me to chase him down? I could take the ship.
It'll take you a bit to get there because the ship. Remember, the ship's in a hangar bay, and it's not like right here where you're at.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because that'd put me out of the fight, unless we can snipe him off.
There is a bike.
Yeah, there is an unoccupied bike.
Well, can I get to it if everybody else is on the ground too?
Well, it would not be an easy task to get there. It's one range band away, which you could easily do that and jump on the bike if you wanted.
Oh wait, it's only one range band?
Yeah. It's with
Oh, well then I have talents and skills for this.
Okay, so you're going to jump on the... Is Yichim going to vault to the bike and chase?
Yes. So I will use my movement to get to the bike.
Okay.
And I can instantly mount it and take off with my Let's Ride feet.
Excellent.
I can instantly get out of there before I start getting shot.
Okay. The speeder bikes have a speed of 3.
Okay.
Which means, let's say I'm going to move you. You're physically there. Let me do this. I'm going to put a status effect on you of wings. I'm going to do the same thing on him. Just so we physically remember that you guys are mounted on bikes. Okay? So you jump on the... Yichim goes vaulting across, running across the now chaotic scene. As blaster bolts are whipping in everywhere. Because remember, all this stuff's happened at one time. As the trooper slumps off the bike, Yichim jumps on his bike and begins tearing off after the officer who just tore out of there. Now, you can move up to 3 range bands, Yichim. He only moved 2.
Okay, yeah, because combat on vehicles depends on our speed, right?
Right.
Okay. And then I'm also going to use my full throttle feet so I can boost out of range.
Out of range of what?
All the troopers that I just waltzed this bike out from.
Okay. So are you going to try to catch up to him? Get even with him?
Yes.
Okay. So long as I'm going to move you here, because so you guys watch this Yichim vault onto this speeder bike, gun the engine out from underneath. And remember, this bike was, a group of troopers together. And suddenly there's this butler droid on one of the bikes, guns the engine and shoots out through there. Now, one thing to comment for you, Yichim, you can either use personal weapons to shoot, because it's a speeder bike, just like in Return of the Jedi when they're on the speeder bikes. But the bikes also have a light repeating blaster attached to them.
Okay, and would those be used through gunnery or ranged weapons?
Ranged
Just
weapons.
So I know what to use.
In this case, I'm using ranged weapons because I'm trying to keep as much in personal combat as I can. Now, you two will do speed-based combat because you're in both on bikes at this point.
Gotcha. Sorry.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That needs clarity. It's kind of a mixed situation here. Okay. The hostiles go. I'm going to grab this set of troopers here, and they're going to fire at the guy stealing the speeder bike with their pistols, because they're idiots. And at this point, he's actually at the same... I'll use difficulty of 2 to wait for the movement. Well, actually, he's 2 bands away from them, so that'd be 3. No, it'd be 2 with a setback for the range. There we go. Let's see if they hit you, Yichim. Oh, Yichim. As you go bolting out through there, you get slammed with a series of shots in the back. You take 8 points of damage.
Okay. Is there any vehicle defense or anything that I need to be adding with this for silhouette or whatnot?
They have nothing on there to help you with that.
Okay.
Sorry. Silhouette more comes in the factor of adjusting your, like when you're trying to fire with the blaster cannons on the thing to attack the other speeder bike or a larger vehicle. And then that brings it around to a friendly. I'm going to just kind of work way down the list here. The battle droids start firing at the troopers. They've had success here, so why not, right? You guys are going to win because the battle droids are actually able to shoot tonight. B1s are not supposed to hit, guys.
Yeah, that would have ruined a lot of plots in the first 3 movies if they could actually hit things.
Wouldn't it now? Carlotta must have did some upgrades to them. Okay. And I'm going to grab the next group of... I should know Captain Harsaw. I'm just working down the list here so I know who's going. Captain Harsaw kind of recovered from his thing. Takes a aim at... What's the range on that? Hold on a minute. Medium range. He can't. Officer's out of reach, but the troopers are not, so he'll fire at the troopers. Rolling. Really? And got to the troopers themselves. Oh, yeah, actually I did. They didn't move. They're idiots. Oh, I know what those are. Over the wall comes a swarm. Actually, there's too many of them here. Oh, that's survivors. Okay. They'll help fight here in a minute. So, over the wall comes a droid, group of droids, and they begin firing at the battle droids. You really don't have to do those, but that's okay. Oh, go up one, roll. What's that? Droids can't hit droids, apparently. The survivors begin rushing out of the huts. What do they have for weapons? Oh, yeah. They got 1 round of blaster fire. These poor troopers. At this point, there's only 2 troopers left on the bikes. And that brings it to a friendly group. And I have not had Tulo go yet. Tulo jumps on one of the vacated speeder bikes. Let's see what talents he has. Adversary equipment. Okay. Nothing useful. He jumps on one of the speeder bikes and is not able to move away. He's planning to help pursue or do something. You're not sure what, but he jumps on one of the speeder bikes. And that'll be the last set of battle droids. Blasters. Same range band, roll. One trooper left after round 1, guys.
Wow.
And that's... What is that coming from? Oh. I think it's going to pull them off there.
We need to download whatever AI updates they've made on these battle droids so we can
No,
put them on our own.
Actually, it's sheer volume because these groups of battle droids, there's 2 and 3 in each one of these groups. So it's just volume of fire as they volley after them. So that brings us back to the top of the round and back to the first friendly unit. Who wants to go?
I mean, Shock is happy to take another shot unless
Okay.
Roxy has something she's dying to do.
I've got nothing, Matthew.
By all
Eitram.
means.
Yeah, Eitram, do you want to do your speeder battle before I go?
No, by all means, I want to see what Shaq can do. I'm still verifying what I want to do.
All right, so just to clarify, the targets left, there's one guy left.
There's 1 trooper left on a bike.
And then that doesn't count the officer who Eitram is chasing, who now
Correct.
have left. They've kind of left the vicinity, though, right?
They're now at long range from you guys.
Okay.
You might be able to pull off a shot, but it'd be a long range shot for you. And there would be some setback involved with that because you have Yitram close in pursuit.
Okay. I'll use the bowcaster, and I'm going to use a maneuver which I totally forgot about. I'm going to use a maneuver to aim at the
Okay.
last trooper.
Okay.
And so that's still 2 difficulty, right?
Two
Because he's just
difficulty,
one
and
band
the
away.
aim gives you a bonus.
So that's a boost. And I think that's it.
Okay. There's the roll. Really? Let me help you guys. Holy crap. See what they have?
I have a feeling they weren't supposed to die so easy.
No, they weren't, but I wasn't planning you all pulling an ambush either. That kind of fits, though. It works.
Yeah.
It works. Okay, so that's shock, hostile. Okay, then
So the threats, how would they impact this?
threat means you pick up two strain. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
I keep forgetting to remind you guys that.
You know, I should know. Unfortunately, I haven't taken the time to really learn the rules, which is on
okay.
me.
We're all still learning, so don't worry. I'm going to move him 3 more bands because he's moving away at speed 3, Marty. So what's going on?
Okay.
And what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to keep him. I'm going to put him down at the bottom. I'm going to put you down at the bottom, and that the distance can represent how far you are apart from each other. Okay.
Okay.
And yes, I see those droids. I know they're still there.
Yeah, what are they? They're
That's a group of droids that came over the walls.
Okay.
While you guys were dealing with the troopers.
Okay, but they haven't yet acted, right?
They
have.
They have.
Oh, they did. I missed
they
it.
just
Okay,
didn't
sorry.
do very well. They missed.
Gotcha.
He's now you can see him. He's talking. You can't understand what he's saying. He's too far away from you, but he's talking obviously on a comm set.
Okay.
And he is moving quickly. And while he's talking, he turns around. Oh my God! He's only got a holdout blaster. And let's see. Speed wise, he's 3. You're moving at 3, right? As well, right?
Yes.
So you're okay. So which basically means. So let me fix this. You're moving at 3. He's moving at 3. That's not distance for you guys. That's showing how in this kind of combat, it's speed that affects here. So he's moving at the same speed, though he's ahead of you, and he's going to shoot at you. Nope. Average difficulty with his holdout blaster. You got to be kidding me!
Wow.
He actually hits you for 6 points of damage while moving at that speed. And he hit you, not the speeder. You.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to take that shot.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't expect that to put me at 1 health either.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God!
Oh wait, no, not I'm 3 health.
Okay.
So my soak.
Yeah, don't forget your soak. Okay, and that brings it to a friendly. So that leaves in the party? That leaves Yitram, not Yitram. Yeah, Yitram and Roxy, and then Harsal's people. And Tulo.
Any complaints about me trying to finish this guy?
Finish him.
Well, I'm gonna try to.
Now, are you using? Well, what are you doing?
I want to use both the aim maneuver and a light side point.
Okay.
I want to try and take out this dude's engine.
Okay, are you using your own weapons or are you using the weapons on the speeder?
I'm going to use the speeder because I really don't think that my dinky little blaster is gonna do anything.
That's fine. You're aiming at his speeder or him?
At the speeder. I'm trying to take out the bike.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you use your what's the skill I'm looking for there? Your gunnery skill.
Okay.
And he's at the same range as you. So we look over here to the right there because we have a difficulty. Because he's the same speed as you and the same difficulty, that's only going to be a 1.
All right.
For you. So just roll your gunnery skill with 1 purple, and then I'll roll damage because I got the sheet up over here.
Okay. I'm gonna add my 2 boosts from the light side point and the aim maneuver.
Yep.
And let's really hope this works.
You
Wow,
succeed.
that didn't help me at all.
Yeah, the boost didn't help you at all, but you did succeed. And let's get this blaster to fire here. Oh, it's just a light repeating blaster. Okay. Oh, there it is. Damage 11. So it does 11 points of damage to him. You aimed at his speeder, not him, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to take out the.
Okay, I just make sure I'm going to. Oh, God. So, from your all's point of view, you see Yutram racing behind this guy, and all of a sudden, the blasters between the blades on the front of that spike just opens up, and firing, and the guy's speeder just cartwheels end over end over end. I think I only had a hull rating of 2 Yutram. You just hit it with 11.
Yikes.
So he goes cartwheeling end over end over end, knocking him, throwing him off into the distance. And at the same time, as he's crashing, 2 logos flying past you on his speeder bike. Headed into the jungle.
Oh man, I feel like Tulo is definitely trying to run away, but I also don't know if I am solid enough to keep up.
And the droids fire on the party. They're a band apart, so 2. Actually, they're firing at Harsal. And miss. That's why droids suck. Okay, you guys. That leaves Roxy, I believe. And then the battle droid contingent, the survivor contingent.
I think Tulo's a snitch. I'm just gonna move up a range band and aim at the droids up here. I can't do much more than that. So 2 difficulty, or is it 1 difficulty for the same?
2, because they're a range band away from you still.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought they were the same range band.
No,
My
no.
mistake.
Yeah.
So
Look at that. You pick
One
up 1
strain.
strain. Let you pick up a triumph. So for that triumph, I'll either let you add a bonus to an ally's roll, or I'll let you add 10 more damage to this damage.
I'll take the 10.
Okay. Figures what you say, but this one, no. Okay. Roxy manages to take out one droid by herself. Anything else, Rox?
Nah, that's what I can do.
Okay. Now here's the bad news. The survivors are out of ammo.
Uh-oh.
A group advances on the droids drawing knives. Okay, I don't know why I have that many hostiles.
What species are most of the survivors?
They're a mixed bag of all the
Okay.
species that made up the coalition.
Gotcha.
Again, I don't know why I have that one, so let me remove that.
But no, no brawling species among them. I wouldn't.
No,
guess.
no, those are small qualities. There's no barbells or anything like that.
Yeah.
The battle droids open fire. I'm going to just do all the battle droids in one big group now, just to make life easier. I got to do 2 rolls, but I guess I could be smart about this. Weapons, worn out blast. The droids are not out of ammo. There's 3 groups of battle droids. You can roll them all real quick because you guys have already went. That's more like B1s. That's more like B1s. And then Harsal. What's he have? Okay. He fires the droids as well, but he's a little bit further away. So. Oh, he succeeds. Okay. And that brings us by the top of the combat round, and that means any of the party may go. I'll just start doing the last 4.
How many? Yeah, how many are
4.
those?
There's 4 droids left.
4 droids left. Okay.
Yep.
Shock will aim and take a shot at one of them.
Okay. In this case, you're actually not. You're shooting into the pile of them. What it amounts to.
Oh, right, gotcha. But I mean, I'll shoot at those
Yeah,
guys, but I will aim into the pile, I suppose.
Yep. Okay.
And it's let's see. So is that
it's 2 bands away? So that'd be that'd be a medium. So that'd be 3. Difficulty of 3.
okay? Or I could give
Or
up
you
the
could move
boost
up.
and move.
Yeah, you can move up.
But that would use my maneuver. I wouldn't be able to move and aim, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless you have a feat that'll allow it.
No, I don't think I have a talent that will allow that. No.
You can tell. You can tell I've started preparing the final steps of the D&D game because I've started flipping back in the D&D talk.
Yeah, feats and perception and all that. Yeah, or persuasion. What the heck? I'll try the boost and I'll aim and stay where I am.
Point.
Nah, it's not worth it at this point. I like having all those light side points in the back pocket.
Yeah, imagine you do.
All right, so you said that was 3 difficulty because it's 2 range bands away. Okay.
Yep. Y'all suck. Suck.
Chewbacca took a page, or Chewbacca. Shock took a page from Roxy. He's like, "Oh yeah, aiming. That's a good idea."
Yeah, and when Shock aims, things just destroy you. Your quarrel hits one of the droids, and it just literally explodes.
Nice.
Jeez. Okay. Oh, he's down. He's down for the count. I'm gonna do this because he's out cold. So I guess I'll do the droid then. The droids fire back at the group of battle droids. I know, actually, it'd make more sense for them to fire at the group of survivors coming at them. Taking out one of the survivors. Party? Eacham, Roxy?
I'm moving forward and I'm blasting away at that droid.
Okay.
I'm going to move into the same range band, so it's 1.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yep. You're right. Same range band, say 1.
Yeah. I'm starting to remember.
Yep.
For once.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Slams it for 10 with 4 successes. That can trigger actually true criticals, to be honest. You can't really do that, but I will give you an extra 10 points of damage to that.
Yeah.
These guys can't take criticals, so that's all I can really offer you there. So that's 20 points instead of 10. Roxy hammers and destroys another droid. Anything else, Rox?
That's it.
Okay. And, that brings around to Yeatram.
Did Eatram happen to see where this dude went
You can see
cartwheeling off to?
Oh, we're doing cartwheeling all the time? Yeah, well, you see where the twisted wreck of the speeder bike is, and you see his body laying not too far from it. Now, you can't tell if he's alive or dead at this point.
But he's not getting up. He's down.
No, yeah, he's down. He's not getting up.
Eachin's really not sure, so he's gonna pop up on the comm link and ask or talk to the rest of the party. Looks like Tulo is making a break for it. You want me to follow him or leave him be?
He's got he's got crew back on his ship, correct?
There's two yard on his ship. Yes.
Okay. Plus things that we might need, ammo or whatever, right?
Right.
I think
I
he's
think-
an Imperial spy.
I think Eatrim should go after him personally. Is he disarmed right now, or did we give him the weapon back?
Well, he's on a speeder bike, so technically he's armed. If
Oh,
he
with
doesn't have
the
a
with
weapon,
the speeder
speeder
weaponry. Yeah,
the
gotcha.
speeder's got a weapon.
How long did I stay behind him?
Yeah, maybe at least follow him and see where he's going. You know,
Okay,
you don't have
I'll-
to engage him if you feel it's too risky, but
I'll chase after Tulo. This man might be alive. He might be dead. Just look for the flaming speeder bike. Worst comes to worst, we can extort his ship out of him.
Okay, I'm gonna move.
And Eatrim's going to follow along behind Tulo.
Okay. He's moving at 3. And I know you're already moving at 3, so I'm moving you over one band so I know that you guys are moving at the same speed.
Yeah, I won't be overly aggressive, but for my maneuver, I'll take the evasive maneuvers, which will just add a setback if he tries to shoot at me or I try to shoot at him.
Actually, I'll do that. One of the beauties of this system is, and do you see the 3 feet above him now?
Oh, yeah.
So this system actually lets you handle height in it as well. So I'll use the height to be your speeds, so I can better track.
Oh, that works great.
That's so nice.
Yep. Oh, you guys are gonna love it in D&D. I'm working with a module in it called levels, and when you guys go up a stairwell in a dungeon, you can actually move up the stairwell and it'll move you to the next map.
oh, that's cool.
Okay, so you're falling too low. That brings it around to there is no hostiles left. It's actually, who is that? Oh, it's oh, I guess I can see if he wakes up. Let's see. Let me give him.
And how many active speeders are still left with us?
There was 5 total. Well, yeah, there was 6 total counting the officers.
Okay.
Tulo took 1, Yitrim took 1, the officer took 1, so there's 3 left with you guys.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm gonna make a vigilance roll here for him just to see. But he's pretty out of it. So I'm gonna heavily oppose him with some purples.
Can I throw a repair patch on while I drive, or is that too
Yes.
distracting?
Not this turn you can, but you could the next turn.
Okay,
It'd just be the same difference as firing the weapon. I mean, you're just taking your action.
gotcha.
Okay, yep. He failed, so he did not wake up. He is still unconscious. I don't know if that's how it works, but that's how we're going to do it. Oh, and the survivors literally close on the droids. You guys are going to love this. They pull out their knives, and they move to range. And let's see how this goes for them. God, they fail. Go figure. Okay. This group also closes but can't get within range. The droids close but not getting any range is no big deal. They're going to fire anyway because they're B1s and they're stupid. Difficulty is only 1, but I'm giving them a setback because of the other survivors piled up around them. They're having trouble getting their shots. Oh. So they succeed. I think there's 1 droid left, but they actually hit one of the survivors. It's 3. It's a glancing blow, but they hit one of the survivors. The other battle droids move in close. They're stupid. They're battle droids, guys. I'm sorry. They're just battle droids and they're stupid. Setback's still there for the group, but they didn't close completely. Wow. They succeed. I think that'll kill the droids. Yep.
So there's a pretty good chance that the officer called in what was happening, though, right? Back to his ship.
He was making, well, you don't know this for sure, but
Yeah, right, of course, yeah,
Yeatram
but
he may have said something in this comm message, but Yeatram saw him on the comm. Well, you all probably saw him on the comm too, as he was jetting out the door. That kills them, and then I'm going to there. So all the what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to grab this group here, and I'm going to push them back here to the edge, out of your all's way. Because Harsal's people are starting to click through it, so we're just dealing with you guys. That's all. We're moving all of them to theater of the mind. Okay. And I'm going to remove a friendly. Remove a friendly. I'm going to leave, just for consistency right now, I'm going to leave one hostile. Actually, one group of battle droids starts closing on the. Yeah. Not both of them. They dash. They're closing on. They're going to the officer to contain him. And remove that. There we go. Okay. Gets it down to just you guys. And I'm going to leave one. Well, I don't know if it's hostile or not. So, back to the top of the round. Yeatram, what are you doing? Well, I assume it's Yeatram. What's the party doing?
I'm going after the officer.
Okay.
And can I pinch an Imperial helmet
Sure.
and just whack it on my head and see if I hear anything in their comms?
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, so as you, well, see, they're a little bit behind you. I'll stop a minute. So you snag up one of the. Actually, you're probably not, because I moved all of them back. Never mind. You snag up one of the Imperial's helmet, plop it on your head. You hear comm chatter, and then you hear a burst, and it's all decoded because you're wearing the helmet and it was turned on. You hear someone say, "The ship's taken."
The ship's taken.
Which ship, I guess, is the is the question. Their ship, Tulo's ship, or maybe our ship?
That's your all's conjecture. Okay, I'm going to move on. Now, let's see. Well, you guys, he'll be secured, so not worried about him. Droids are done. Okay. Tulo continues pelting through the forest, Bertram, or Yeatram.
I'm gonna pull up
As fast as he
alongside
can
him.
go. Okay.
And I'm gonna try and get close enough for conversation where you can hear me.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Mr. Tulo, I cannot agree with your current course of action. The fact that the Empire took speeder bikes here implies that their ship is elsewhere, and it is highly probable that, given that our ship is here, they have located yours. You might be going into an ambush.
He glances at you at this obtusely long conversations you're having at breakneck speeds, as you go whizzing past trees and swooping back and forth. And he looks at you and he yells something. My ears might be big, but I still can't hear you, droid. And you think you hear him say, "They attacked my ship."
Oh, bother.
Are you gonna communicate any of that back to Shock and Roxy?
Yeah, I guess I can do a comm-like conversation at the same time.
Yeah, you just left your comm open.
So
They hear you saying that, and then they can't hear him at all, but they hear you say, "Oh, bother."
Oh, okay. So we don't know that his ship was attacked. We just heard
you can't.
Something is wrong.
Yeah, you can't hear his side of the conversation. Just Yeatram's.
Okay. Is Roxy taking a bike?
Roxy was headed to procure the officer.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was going to ride the bike over to where he crashed or walk or
It depends
run or...
how far it was.
You could probably jog there by this round. You could be there.
Yeah, probably would have just walked there.
I think
Because
Shock's
he
going
very
to
obviously wasn't moving.
Shock is going to hop on a bike. And what kind of... Do you need any special skill to drive that guy, or is that...
No, actually you don't. You don't need any piloting skill whatsoever to operate any kind of vehicle in Star Wars. Now, that doesn't mean you can operate it well. Like, Yitram has piloting skill, therefore he's doing fairly well doing what he's doing.
Right,
It just
right.
makes
That would
it
be
harder for you.
planetary, I guess, piloting.
Yes, planetary
versus...
piloting.
Yeah. I'll hop on it and try to do a test drive over to where the officer is, to catch
Okay.
up with Roxy.
Yeah. And you have planetary piloting, so it's not a big deal for you.
Well, I don't have any rank in it, but it's
No,
one of my
but-
career skills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it don't matter. I mean, that's the beauty of Star Wars. It's just like operating a car. I mean, anybody
Right.
that's an adult knows how to operate, basically knows how to operate a car. They might not be able to do it well. I mean, they probably couldn't do combat maneuvers like someone who's been trained to do automotive combat maneuvers, but they can still
Right.
drive a car.
So yeah, you're just driving to work, not doing barrel rolls.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So you jump on the bike and speed her over to where they're at, and I'll just put all you guys in one band just for consistency. I guess I need to take the wings off of him since he no longer has wings. I'm out cold. And that'll bring it around to... Actually, we can just go theater of the mind with this. So what are you doing? We'll go to Yutrim. What are you doing, Yutrim?
Well, Eatram's first going to wonder, do we ever give Tulo our comlink frequency? Make it a
No.
bit easier to talk to him?
You never had time.
Well. I'm going to try and motion to him to get to slow down so we can actually have a conversation.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and really impress on him that, hey, why don't we take the ship to wherever he's at rather than flying in on a speeder bike? Just might be the safer idea.
So he finally he gathers that you want something. He knows you're talking to him. He just can't understand you, and he finally does slow down enough to where you all have a quick conversation. He explains his ship is just over the next rise from where you're at. It would take longer to go back on bike and get your ship than it would for the guys to just approach on the speeder bikes. He said that someone attacked his people. Said someone attacked them.
All right, well, then I will relay back to the team or that Eatram's going to go along with him, and if they could bring the ship over, that would be quite swell, as I slap on a repair patch.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take care of your damage. So, I said, let me just kill this combat tracker because we're done with that. Yep, we can kill that, close that. And I'll leave the chart up for the moment. So as you ease the top of the rise, Tulo's not being stupid. He stops the bike just on the other side of the rise, gets off, trots over, and drops down the ground to look down. And of course, you're in the jungle, so there's forest and stuff everywhere. But as he looks, you guys look through enough of the clearing on the rise to see the ship. You see there, and I'm assuming you go with him, Nitram. You see a YT-2400 freighter sitting in the clearing. You see 5 more speeder bikes around it. A pair of Imperial scout troopers at the base of the ramp, and another pair holding blasters on 2 Rhodians. You're too far away to hear anything, but that's what you see.
I guess I'll relay the general situation back to everyone else just so they kind of know what I'm looking at. And then I'm just going to see how it develops from here.
As you're relaying that, a little bit further off in the distance, not too far from where you're at, you see a object shoot into the air and leave the planet's atmosphere.
Oh, that ain't good. That's a interstellar flare gun. Perhaps summoning more Imperials.
Oh, well, this is quite not good. Mr. Tulo, at this point, I must ask, what do you intend to do?
He looks at you and goes, "Get my shit back." He starts working his way slowly in the brush, keeping hidden. Let's see how well he does that. Does he even have any skills at this? Probably not.
How many people are there? Is he trying to take on?
At least 5, right? If there were 5 bikes. Plus, I don't know how the droids, the whatever kind of droids they were.
Holy crap! So Yitrim, so he's quickly drops out of sight to you. You know where he should be, but he seems to vanish into the shrubbery.
Fantastic.
That's whenever it registers in your mind that no, he didn't have a blaster pistol, but he appears to have one now.
Well, I'll give him support with the gun from up here, but I'm not going to put myself at risk.
Okay, fair enough. So here's what I'm going to do.
Mainly because I'm already practically dead.
Right. Okay. So far in there, I'm going to do this. And go back to the fist. You want to give me a initiative roll there, Yitrim? I get 2 lows in.
Saying the initiative tracker is not started for me. Let me find it.
Go to the fist.
Yeah, it says not started.
That's weird. Here, I can roll it for you. Not it's gonna matter. There we go. And combat. Okay, first round actually goes to the hostiles. Go figure. The hostiles did not see him coming because he hid so damn well. So we're gonna. They're just on a patrol route. We'll skip right to Tulo. He is snuck down in the brush, and he pulls out his pistol. I'm going to put him within range of him. Because the ship's in the brush. They can't see him. He's still in the brush. And he's going to take the aim maneuver, just like you guys did. And fires on one of the troopers. Look at that. I guess I could get rid of his height now. So he fires the troopers, and that brings it around to, I didn't start combat, so brings it around to you, Yitrim. What are you doing?
Atrim's going to make sure that there's something solid in between him and those guys on the ground.
Okay.
And then he's going to... Yeah. And he... Well, if I take cover, can I fire with the blaster on the speeder bike?
On the speeder bike? Not without difficulty. I'll give you a setback on it, but yes, you can.
Okay. Then I'll take the aim.
You're maneuvering a speeder bike into cover here. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
like it's not like it's like you're self-hiding.
No, got it. So then I'll take the aim maneuver and then fire with that.
Okay. So give me your gunnery check there.
All right. Gunnery with a boost and a setback.
Yes, a boost and a setback.
And what, 2 difficulty?
Yes, 2 difficulty.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's
Well,
a shame.
that's just rude.
That's just rude. That's a shame. So you take 2 strain off that,
Alright.
and your blaster bolts light up right beside the ship, and you don't hit the ship itself, but like the two guards stand at the bottom of the ship's ramp, go diving for cover underneath the ship's ramp.
Well, hey, maybe that'll give the other Rhodians a chance to escape or hide too low. I don't know. Maybe I meant it to be a distraction. You'll never know.
So that brings around to the hostiles' turn. The hostile, this is the troopers. They don't see Tulo yet, but they see where this blaster cannon's coming from up on the hill. So they try to shoot at you with their rifles. However, let's see, that's 2 difficulty, but you're in cover, so that's a setback. And then they were diving for cover, so that's another setback. Because, suddenly they got shot at by a cannon. And roll that. And they failed. So they failed to hit you at all. And that brings around the Tulo. Tulo, who's now repositioned himself. He's obviously not stupid at what he's doing. He's repositioned himself. He is at a 1. No, a 1, not a 3. And because he's trying to hide... No, and he fires. Clipping another one of them. And dropping one of the troopers. Eitram.
I'm going to do the same thing as last time.
Okay. You won't have the setback from maneuvering this time because it's already hidden.
Okay.
Because that came from you trying to jockey the speeder around to get in a position where it was somewhat hidden.
Yeah. Alright, I can do that.
Oh. So you slam into those. Now, here's where the fun part comes. Okay. You hit the group of troopers, and the damage on the speeder's cannons is 11. But because that's a vehicle weapon going against personal, I got to multiply that by 10.
Oh, so they just kind of explode.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you quickly mow down all the troopers, including the one that comes running down the ramp. I know, crazy, right?
Oh, he is so gonna owe me for this field promotion.
Unfortunately, you mowed down the Rhodians as well.
Oh no.
What a shame.
Oh no, I thought they got out.
No, they were running for it. They just hadn't got far enough out yet to avoid your spray coming from the cannon that time around. So you see Tulo stand up and go, "Nice shooting, droid." And he goes up the ramp into the ship.
Oh, so he's not angry I murdered them?
It doesn't appear to be, at least not at this point. Out of character, he was probably going to have a hard time explaining to them how he was now the captain of the ship, since he's not actually a member of the Yar clan. The ship belongs to the Yar clan.
Well, you know what? We'll take it.
And you see him appear in the cockpit of the ship, look over at you and give a thumbs up to indicate that the ship's clear.
Well, I guess I'll just motion back to the settlement and make my way back.
Okay. And as you're moving back toward the settlement, you hear the engines of the YT-2400 fire up.
Did he defeat all those troopers while I was gone?
Yitram gunned him down with the speeder bike.
Damn. Nicely done.
Like, literally, it was like gangster sort of like Tommy gun spray.
Yeah,
Yeah, that whole damage multiplied by 10 thing kind of just makes mist.
yeah. So, yeah, you hear the engines of the YT-2400 firing up and the repulsor lift as it lifts off Ytram.
Oh, Too Low is heading out.
Too Low is leaving.
That wasn't part of our bargain.
He's
It's
altered
not.
the deal. Pray he doesn't alter it anymore.
So, quick question for Etram, or about the thing that took off. Was it? Could he tell if it was a ship or how big it was, or anything? The one that took off to the atmosphere.
Yeah. I'm clearing tokens and stuff out right here. Ytram. Oh, you guys have him. Get rid of the stuff you don't need. Give me a. Trying to think what the right thing here is.
Because I guess some of those probe droids have that ability, don't they? Or I know they can be launched through the atmosphere and land. I don't know if they can take off
Yeah.
again, but
Give me a mechanics check or just a general knowledge check, and it's going to be 1 difficulty here. It's not going to be hard.
Right. I can hopefully not flub it.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that was a hyperspace message pod.
Nice.
Would we know if we have any chance in hell of catching it before it can get into hyperspace?
Typically, the way those work, as soon as they leave the atmosphere, they will jump into hyperspace. So
Hold on now. You can jump into hyperspace near a huge gravity well like a planet?
well, they have to get away from it, but as soon as they get in a safe distance, they will jump away.
I'd like to see the calculations on that. You mind posting those? I'm just kidding.
Well, they probably care less because there's also no people in there.
Yeah.
I know.
It's small.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Star Wars space travel doesn't
Yeah.
really follow any kind of physics that I've ever seen anyway. So
The problem is it's probably got like a class 1 or something in it. Second problem, we don't have an interdictor.
so
which
basically, we
Third
have to
problem
assume
is only about the size of Ytram.
right. Yeah.
But good news is, it's a fair distance to the nearest habitable world.
True. What? 12 days? Is that how long it took us to get here?
It's probably going to be like a day because it's like heading to probably like the closest Imperial outpost.
Or the closest Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Which
Right.
Always got that little bit of happiness.
Roxy, you have a helmet on, right? Still?
Oh yeah. I've been listening in the whole time.
There's a comms burst, and you hear a voice say, asking for reports.
Can I quickly? Did I look to see? Did I catch if the trooper had a number on it?
No, you did not.
How about the officer? Does he have a name tag on him or anything?
Well, he identified himself as Kyle Olsen.
Oh, okay. I think I missed that. Oh no, when he first arrived.
First arrived, yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna try and bullshit it.
Okay, that's what I figured you were gonna do.
I'm gonna be like, Commander Olsen, static,
Yeah.
extremely hurt, coming in, trying to make return to ship.
Okay. I'm looking for the.
Coercion?
Yeah, it's coercion for you, and I'm looking to see what the person on the other end, or you could do deception. Actually, deception would be more appropriate here than coercion.
Oh yeah, I didn't
then-
realize there was a deception. I thought that was a D&D thing.
No, there's
Yeah.
actually deception, but on the other side of that,
Would it be perception?
No, we're just gonna make it.
Or-
We're just gonna make it a contest here. So Roxy, it will be. I'm gonna pull it up so I make sure I can get the right thing. Your difficulty is going to be 1 red and 2 purple.
Do you mind if I use a light sight point here, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
By all means.
Does that upgrade ability, right?
Yes.
Or is that boost die?
Upgrade. Upgrade.
I forgot. Okay, 2 purple, 1 red, and upgraded ability.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
That was close.
That was close.
Ooh.
Oh wow. That was so close too. Sir, your transmission is breaking up. Please repeat.
I just come back with like crackling static, just
Okay.
like it's,
All right.
and I fire a few shots off, just to make it like sound like I'm being pursued on foot.
So you hear another transmission. It's on a different channel. It's on the troopers channel this time, as opposed to a command channel, asking for anybody in the area to assist the agent. That's the actual word they use, is agent.
Shock, quickly help me strip one of those troopers and get me in that armor. We're gonna
Okay.
play some deception.
Do you want right? I'll Shock will race back over and grab one of the down troopers and strip their armor
Start
off.
stripping. Okay.
Yep.
So you start stripping it away, and it takes about 5 minutes to strip that armor off. It's not easy to get off and you're handing it and you're stripping the hand, but of course you gotta get the. Now, are you gonna do the whole body glove part, Roxy, or just put the armor on top your clothes?
It just needs a cursory inspection, so
Okay.
not the full, just
Yeah.
the outer.
Okay, so you're just as strips pulling off the plates. You're putting them on as quick as you can. Eatram, are you headed back to them on the speeder bike?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so by now you would have arrived. You arrived to see Roxy quickly putting on Scout Trooper armor.
All right.
And then Roxy, of course, you got the helmet on. You hear the same voice come back. Sir, no one's responding. Following standard protocol, we'll request the extraction team.
Do I know what extraction team means?
You, well, you don't know the exact details of what it means, but you know that's probably not a good thing.
Hmm.
And then you hear in the distance the whine of a starship's drives firing up.
Oh, they're
Okay.
coming to get their wounded. Yeah, that's probably not great. How hidden is our ship, by the way? Did we actually?
Your ship's well hidden because it's in the retreat's landing bay area.
Oh, right. If they
And
brought it over after,
yeah, yours is tucked away.
Okay.
Within a few minutes, you see the Imperial ship rise up a ways off from where you guys are at and head toward the upper atmosphere.
So it's not coming to our location. It's running away.
Nuts.
Is this at least enough time for me to link back up with the group?
Yeah, you're back with the group by now.
Okay.
So we still have the problem of getting the survivors off the planet if we want to run. Because I think we were planning on using the Tulo's ship to help, right, carry people along with our ship.
That was what you discussed, yes.
So
Can we catch up?
with
Last year.
with Tulo or with the Imperials?
Imperials, they're closer. Tulo's already long gone, I'm sure.
Yitrim, that'd be an educated guess from you. You know that, Yitrim, you would know that just like you guys, they would have to get up and out of the atmosphere, out of the gravity well, before they can make a jump. But since you're not in the ship, Even on in a speeder bike, you could be at the ship in say 2 to 5 minutes and be off the ground in no more than 10. But it's a very good likelihood that ship would be out of there by that time if it's leaving the system.
I would tell we could, if we pushed everything and strained the ship, we could catch them. But at that point, I don't know how we get them back on the ground with an intact ship.
Jason, do I know any tactics for this particular boarding actions? I've had experience with them.
You've had experience with them. You would know that in order to do it, you would have to have some way to disable the ship's engines. And once the ship was disabled, then you could, link up and board the vessel. But it would be a protracted engagement in space.
Yeah, it'd be a shootout.
So where do we think they're going? So extraction made it sound like. So who was requesting the extraction? On somebody on the trooper channel, is that right?
Roxy faked being the commander.
Yeah.
One of the troopers with the commander.
And the person on the other end, whoever that was, you would assume at this point it's the pilot of the ship, tried to get on the other channels to locate him, but when no one responded, they came back with no response, going to request extraction team. And then the ship took off.
So the pilot's getting out of there and the extraction team will come later to...
That would be what you would probably piece together, yeah.
Okay.
That the issue probably being actually Roxy, because of your background, make
some things about Imperial responses times.
I think what's right to check here. Actually, you have underworld intelligence. There you go. Make an underworld intelligence check, because this would be based on your background.
Yeah.
It'd be a 2 purple check. Let's see how you do on that.
Ooh.
You know more than likely what's happening here is the pilot was the only person left on the crew on board the ship. And since none of the troopers responded, the pilot went to upper atmosphere to try to get a signal out. But you also know, because of the nebula, there's no signal getting out of here. That ship's going to have to jump someplace else to get in the clear and transmit a request for an extraction team.
We need to go get that guy right now then, because there's going to be some lag before he figures out he can't get a signal out and tries to go somewhere else, right?
He would know that he can't say. He would know that he can't signal from where they're at.
Oh,
So
okay. So he would not hesitate in the atmosphere trying to get a signal out.
Yeah, as soon as he got clear of the ground, well, he would jump away from the planet, away from the nebula, because the planet's in a nebula. Is the whole solar system is a nebula. So he would jump away so he could get a clear signal out to request an extraction team. So you've probably got a day before he gets his message out. And this is Roxy running numbers in your head, Roxy. And then another, because of the location of where you guys are at, another 7 days before a possible response team would arrive here.
And there's no way... I'm still wondering if we could maybe catch up with the guy and take over the ship and use it to transport people off the planet before the extraction team would arrive. To catch up with the Imperial ship, I mean. Because if you're right, there's only a single pilot on there to prevent us from taking over the ship. And we need that. I'm assuming it'll carry at least... Well, I mean, it had, 12 or 15 troopers on it or something like that? Total, maybe 10 or 12 at least.
Well, do a body count here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We killed. How many did we kill?
You disabled or killed 5 here in the retreat. And Ytram leveled 5.
Plus the pilot. So I mean, and that's just normal capacity. Probably we could double that with survivors, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, or even triple, maybe if people were willing to be uncomfortable. And how many survivors did we have total? I think we kind of were talking about this last time,
about
but
100.
and we can't take more than what, a couple dozen on our ship.
You could probably get 20 on your ship. You could probably squeeze everybody on the ship, but the problem is the air recycles wouldn't.
Right.
You're talking about for you guys, because you only have a Class 2 hyperdrive. You're talking about a 14-day trip to get back to where you were at.
But what if we hop to the nearest planet? I mean, how far is that?
Okay, there we go. To hop to the nearest planet.
And what is the planet? That's more the question.
Yeah, and could they survive there until we get everybody ferried over?
Okay, for that I need our resident or someone to make an astrogation check.
That's got to be Etram, right?
Doesn't have to be Etram. He has skill
Well,
at it.
Yeah, I was going to say I have 0 skill at it.
I have some astrogation.
You're talking about just have a planet that you could shuttle them to, right?
A planet, an asteroid,
someplace
just
in the atmosphere where they could hide long enough to get them help.
Heck, in an abandoned old pirate base or spice mine.
Okay, so
I mean, I know some shady stuff.
Okay, so the check will be because you're widening it that far. Let's make it 3 purple. No, 2 purple with a setback on it, and then it's up to you guys who's going to make that check.
What if Neutrum did the astrogation and I did the underworld?
That's fine. We could do that.
Okay.
That's right.
Checks is the same way for both ways. The difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to use my underworld.
I have a talent that removes 2 setbacks, so I'm gonna put it in here. I don't know if it'll remove it by itself or not.
Okay. If it doesn't,
so I'm gonna roll it like it might.
Yeah.
Right, it did not remove it by itself.
It's okay. We can just pull it off on the thing. Still a success.
Yeah.
You have 1 more success than what it's showing. You have 3 successes on yours. Okay. So you find a couple of places nearby that you could shuttle to that wouldn't be more than a half a day jump each, to and from.
And
Roxy,
what's mine?
You succeed. You got 2 advantage.
No. I mean, what do I have?
The same thing. 2 purple, 1 setback.
2 purple, because that was previous.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yep.
2 purple, 1 black. I thought Ytram used something to decrease it, so I thought it was 4.
Ytram used a talent to decrease his setback.
Okay. Okay, so how many setbacks? Sorry.
1. It's 1 setback.
Okay. Oh, it didn't remove. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There we go. Didn't affect you at all.
Got a triumph.
You didn't fail. You got a triumph. Okay, how am I going to work that? Give me a second here. So you got a triumph. Okay, so Roxy, you and Ytram, you're both at the start charge on the Rancor, looking around, going through the nav computers, trying to figure out something. Ytram identifies several planets. You're spinning it around, and you spot a base, an old asteroid base that used to be used by a mining consortium. The only problem with it is listed as being non-functional, as shut down, abandoned, and had been abandoned 10 or 20 years ago. The asteroid base would be a 1-day shuttle back and forth. Not back and forth. There and back would be 1 day. The planet that Ytram finds will be a half a day there and back.
But it's perfectly habitable.
Yes.
Doesn't require any special equipment to survive on. Okay. I mean, I say we do the planet. because we need to make at least 5 trips, probably. Well, I guess we could, for a short distance like that, we could probably double our capacity. Would the ship take that?
You could try it. It might get a little whiffy in there, and the atmosphere might get a little thin.
But if it's a half a day, you said over and back, then that's only whatever 6 hours.
6 hours.
Of flying time with that
Yeah.
many people.
Right. The problem is your atmosphere generator is the real problem. I mean, cargo wise, you could cram 100 people in your ship. I mean, you got a big cargo bay. You just don't have the life support capacity.
How about for like 30 or 40 people? That would cut it down to 2 or 3 trips.
Yeatram thinks you might be able to do that. Actually, I'm waiting for you guys to pick up on the obvious one. You haven't picked up on it yet.
The obvious one.
I want
Why
to
are we
ask,
so stupid?
I want to ask Castle something.
Okay.
I want to ask him how many, because I heard that the Salnalor was a treasure ship. How many credits do you have?
He's a little cagey about it at first, but he realizes what you're asking is, well, there is quite a bit of treasure on the Salnalor. The problem is, it's still on the Salnalor. The vaults were on the lower decks, and we can't get to them.
Why?
Underwater. It's part of the dam, right?
Nope. The lower decks, if you remember, were crumpled from the landing.
But they're underwater and wait, sorry.
No,
What part? What part?
The lower deck's on the front half of the ship. If you remember, the front half of the ship crashed into the ground, and multiple of the lower decks was crushed.
Right. And the part that was it the back half of the ship that made the dam?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. I forgot that it split in two.
Right now, they have no way to get. So that he knows they're there. He figures the treasure survived, but there's no way to access them without major excavation equipment to do it.
You have to mine them out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do I know? I've got a thought here. Do I know anyone nearby that could deliver a ship and would be willing to trade a ship
This far out in the
for
outer
the-
rim? No.
for locations?
No.
Not even the huts.
Huts are on the other are quite a distance from here. Their space is quite a distance from here. And you could reach out to them, but it would take them 2-3 weeks to get a ship out here if it had a Class 1 drive.
Yeah. I imagine I could try bounty hunters, but let's face it, it's not going to be likely.
Not likely.
And untrustworthy.
Right. The problem you come up against every time is a time constraint. Let me see here. Let's see if one of the NPCs picks up on the idea.
I mean, we could try and move them to the other side of the over somewhere else on the planet. And then come back. That's the only other option, really.
Yeah, apparently we're missing something. We're missing an obvious solution, according to our GM.
And their resident brain didn't pick up on it, so I can't share what your GM sees as an obvious solution.
Yeah, sorry, Kratala.
That's their engineer. Soundalore.
But okay, so the Salnalora can't fly.
No, it cannot fly.
If they sheltered there, wouldn't the Imperials just search that area anyway? Because it's a pretty obvious thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. I'll lead you to this without What was the Salnalore?
A treasure
A
ship?
warship? I mean, it's a
And
warship.
a ship had a crew and would have had to need a what?
Oh, escape pods?
No.
No, I don't know.
Oxygen?
Bingo.
Cyclus?
And that would come from...
Oh,
life
mean
support.
its own life support. Yeah, its own oxygen scrubber or whatever, CO2 scrubber.
Salnalore had an atmosphere generator just like your ship does.
So we could essentially supplement our atmosphere generator with the one from the Salnalore. Is that what you're saying?
It's a possibility. Something you could explore.
And then take everybody in one vessel uncomfortably.
One or maybe two runs.
Yeah. But we have the time to do half-day trips back to back and get 3 of those in, or even 4 if we needed to, before anybody's likely to show up, right?
Right. Based on Roxy's estimates, you got at least 7 to 8 days before a response would show up.
In fact, we could get all the survivors off the planet, and then we could come back and try to see what we could scavenge for ourselves. And still have 3 or 4 days to do that before the Imperials show up,
and
right?
You're supposed to report information back to Rio at the rendezvous point. He may be able to help you.
But that's a long trip back, though, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at least another 7 to, well, with your ship, at least another 14 days.
Yeah, exactly. So that's sort of like the end. That's like our conclusion of this is to get back to him, I think, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the next chapter.
Well, yeah. The end of this session, whatever you want to call it, episode.
Ooh.
I would recommend we get the survivors to a safe place, and then we come back, and then with no Imperials and no survivors to bother us, we scavenge everything we can. Maybe leave our own beacon or something hidden somewhere where we think the treasure might be, and then go back to our boss and give him all that information.
I think Roxy had an idea.
Oh, I'm sorry, Roxy.
Well, I have a few ideas.
Okay.
Well, we get everyone off planet to that planet, right? They're safe. They're somewhere hidden out. I imagine it's a remote planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another similar one to this one.
Yeah, just not a nebula.
So we get them to there. We get the atmosphere generator. And then we could hop to that asteroid base, set up the atmosphere there, and then sort of like ferry people to a very secure location. And eventually come back with a ship for them so they can supply themselves.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm guessing. So
small long term.
Our goal here, to make money, as far as making money. I mean, obviously we have humanitarian goals, but as far as our mission to make money is to get information back to our boss, right? And or maybe get some of the treasure for ourselves if we can find any that's portable.
Jason?
Yes?
Could I forge, I imagine there's some sort of like documents or like tags or some sort of like device that you attach to a ship for like Imperial salvage people? Just so we can maybe claim the Salnalore and say we're just a salvage.
Okay.
So no one can legally salvage it without us.
The question is whether the Imperials would even honor that, even if they believed it was legitimate.
Well, we could fake it.
Okay, so yes,
but they're coming to a planet where they've been attacked already, right? I mean, the message has gone out that there are hostiles on the planet, so I'm not sure they would.
Which is why, after we've left everyone, we spray black sun tags all over the place.
Oh god, I think this is escalating quickly.
So Black Sun is a rival.
Oh,
it's a criminal group, yeah.
Does Shock know anything about this Black Sun
Oh yeah,
connection?
I'm sure
or is
you've
this...
heard of them.
Okay, but Roxy has some personal grudge against this group, or?
That's up to Roxy there.
I mean, I know a dozen criminal organizations we could pin this on.
Okay,
well, that's an idea.
so
I mean,
to
it would be good not to have
answer-
the Imperials, tracking us personally. Yeah.
So to answer your response, yes, you could put a marker beacon on the wreckage claim. The claim basically, you put a probe in a beacon in orbit around it with information. Ship located, dislocated, your name, that sort of thing, marking it as as your legal salvage. That can be done. That's actually what the Yar-Yars was going to do, is salvage the ship. That's what they were. They're salvagers. Just probably not the most ethical group of salvagers. Well, probably they were not the most ethical group of salvagers, since they're all dead now.
I imagine also we were equipped with salvage beacons by actually...
Yes, he would have given you a couple. Riom would have given you a couple of beacons to mark the salvage with, the legalities of it. So yeah, those you have. That's not a problem. So you can mark the ship. After talking over your plans with Harsal, they're not fans of leaving, but they understand why they need to leave. They know they got to leave here. They don't like the idea of going from this planet to another planet where they don't know anything about it. However, the idea of the base does intrigue them.
Okay. Possibly, if we, as Roxy suggested, if we bring the atmosphere generator with us in case it's needed.
Yeah, what Harsal and his group, and Carlotta's the one that does most talking. She's the engineer brain of the group. The majority of the life support stuff was never touched. I mean, they pulled some components off here, there, and yonder, but nothing that couldn't be replaced by pulling the components back off what they're put on to get those equipment there up and working. So what she proposes is, or what they propose as a counterproposal is, you take a group of them, Carlotta, and a small group of droids for defense in case they need it, and some of the survivors that were more mechanically inclined. You go to this asteroid base that Roxy found. They will assess the equipment and what it needs to put it back in operation there, and send back a part list with you guys. They can take one of the smaller atmosphere generator units off the Sound Allure, put it in your ship, take it with them, set up a small area pocket for them to work in while they work back and forth out of spacesuits. They'll have to use a couple of your all spacesuits off the ship, because theirs is long since punctured and been used for other things. But then they could get the base up and running while they're doing that. They could transmit a part list to you, and you could be bringing parts back as you shuttle people back and forth to that base.
So how many days would it... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, how many days again would it take to get everybody over there? 3 days? It's a day. It's a day there and back, right?
Yitrum thinks you can cram 30 of the survivors onto your ship, and if one or two, not necessarily all you guys on the ship on every trip, but 30 of the survivors on the trip, on the trip, you can do 30 in one day, and 30 in a day. So 30, 60, 90. You'd need 4 days of shuttling.
Okay.
And they could lighten it. It wouldn't be exactly 30, but you could get as many as 30 at a time.
Right. Roxy, what were you going to ask?
I was just going to say, while we're transporting, they can be stripping everything. So they can make an educated guess on what parts they need.
Exactly.
And they can start, so it won't be, they're just waiting around.
Right.
So they can gather.
That's what Carlotta agrees with you, that they can start stripping down and stuff that they know they're going to need, getting food supplies together, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, so Shock
might have to stay there, a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before you guys get a ship back to them to get the bulk of them off of there.
So the downside of a base is the food supply is finite until they get resupplied, right? But on another planet, presumably that wouldn't be such a problem.
Not really. It wouldn't be as big of a problem, but the similar issues though the food maybe they have to figure out what they could actually eat.
Okay. So
Different
they
biosphere.
feel more comfortable on the base that they could have more control over
over the environment,
the environment and how defensible it is and all that sort of thing.
and they can
Okay.
always stretch their food out. I mean, they got
I
food
mean,
stores
Shock
there.
Shock thinks they're crazy. He's like, I'll take a planet over an asteroid base any day. You know, the planet's got, in theory, I guess, renewable food and water and all of that, where the base is dependent on resupply. But you know,
I mean-
humans are weird, so whatever humans want to do is cool with Shock.
Wookiees always need nature and trees.
That's right. He would feel much more comfortable with soil between his toes, so to speak.
You know, Wookiee starships are made of wood.
There you go. But yes, this sounds like, if that's what the survivors want, sounds like a good plan. And that still gives us a couple of day buffer to maybe do other things that we might want to do without any company along if we decide to do anything like that.
Okay, so is that the plan?
Do we need to do the beacon, the salvage beacon first before we do anything else, just to make sure? Or is that something that might upset the survivors?
No, because they know that you're claiming it for Rio. They're quite aware of what you're claiming it for.
Okay, all right. So they're good. They're on board with that.
Yeah, they're on board with that.
Okay. We should do that quickly then, in case Tulo comes back or something like that.
All right. So we'll theater the mind a lot of this. So over the next 4 or 5 days, that's exactly what happens. You all begin shuttling back and forth. Who goes on the first trip to check out this asteroid base?
Eatram, as the wonderful pilot, feels like he has to volunteer
Yeah, I figured
because he's not letting anybody else pilot the ship.
I mean,
oh, also, I'm stealing the speeder bike. It's going on the ship with us.
Okay.
we should grab a couple of those actually.
Okay.
Just one for each crew member, probably, right?
Okay.
At the very least, I need a land vehicle.
I'm also nicking a set of stormtrooper armor.
Okay, it's not a problem. Yeah, anything that you want, they have no problem with you guys taking that as kind of save their bacons there. So,
I just don't want to have to fly the escape pod next time.
So, how many speeder bikes do you guys put on the Rancor for you?
Can we take 3, or is that
They'll let you have them?
Okay. I say take 3 then.
Well, keep in mind that there was a total of 11 speeder bikes, so there's still plenty for Carlotta and Harsol's group.
Mm.
And then of course, one of them's wrecked, but they don't care. They immediately been stripping that for parts.
Yeah.
To get other things working.
I mean, maybe even take 4 or 5 and sell them.
That's cool. Whatever we have room for. I didn't know with the extra people on board how much room we had in the cargo area.
Well, they don't have to be on there permanently. They just be on there on your last trip.
Yeah, obviously don't take all of them. We'll leave them with some to use.
Okay. So
by the way, how many can I take the grenades from the stormtroopers?
The troopers had no grenades. All they had was, hold on, let me get to their sheets.
Darn Imperial budget cuts.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. They had each one of them. There was a total of 10 troopers. There's 10 light blaster pistols available. There is each one had a frag grenade, so there's 10 frag grenades available and 10 heavy blaster rifles available.
I'm taking the 10 frag grenades.
Okay.
The survivors can have the good blasters.
I'm sorry, no,
because I don't need it.
I'm sorry. There's 20 frag grenades.
Why don't you split them with Shock so I can have a few to throw as well?
I was just going to put them in the ship. But you can take
ship stores.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, if we're just going to have them for common stores, then that's cool.
There is a total of 5 salvageable scout trooper armors. The other 5 are quite riddled with holes.
So I'm taking I'm taking one of the armors.
Okay.
And the frag grenades for the frag grenades can be just for everyone, but I'm taking one of the armors.
Are you going to wear the armor? Are you going to use the
Yeah,
armor?
but we can sort that out. I need to get it, respray it, and make it
Okay,
look
yeah.
not like the scout trooper
Yeah, so,
armor.
I was just basically tell you that it's got 2 soaks. What I was going to tell you. I'll add it to your sheet here in a little bit, but it's got 2 soak on it. Yeah, I figured you'd respray it. So okay, so and then each one of them had a utility belt, an extra clip for their weapons. So there's plenty of extra clips to go around. So that's what was on them. And what did you guys do with Cal?
Was he
He's not
dead?
dead. He's not dead.
Oh, I thought he was dead.
Oh yeah. Oops.
Oh, we should have questioned him, I guess. Then,
Well, Harsal did.
Well-
Harsal's group questioned him quite extensively about what they knew and all that, but he pretty much gave name, rank, serial number.
He
By the
attacked
way-
Harsal's group. He's Harsal's problem. That's as
I-
far as Eatram cares.
I actually had a plan for questioning him,
Okay,
if that's all right. Before,
that's fine. As
um,
far as his gear, he had a heavy trench coat, a hand scanner, and a comlink, and that holdout blaster that he had.
what is the
Oh, I'm
hand
ta-
scanner? How is that?
It's just a little. To use Star Trek parlance, it's a tricorder.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just for
Yeah, it's just a scanner.
my plan was for questioning him to cover his eyes
Mm-hmm.
with like some what he will assume are bandages because he
Mhm.
can't see because his eyes will be covered.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to wear a stormtrooper helmet and just try and get it out of them so he thinks he's in the hospital back on the ship.
Okay, so let's make a
That's-
deception check.
you're gonna gaslight him.
Deception check. I'm going to give you 2 blue on that because of your precautions you're taking. This is directly opposed by his deception skill, which is 2 red and 1 purple.
So 2 blue, how many purple?
1 purple, 2 red.
1 purple. 2 red.
We'll see how your roll goes, and then we'll see what you get out of it.
Oh.
It takes a little bit of doing, and you're going back and forth with him, but he doesn't buy it. He pretty much sticks to name, rank, serial number. You realize
Well-
the mistake was probably the stormtrooper helmet.
The doctors wouldn't have a stormtrooper helmet on, I guess, right?
Or it'd have been a medical droid.
Oh, yeah.
True. But I just thought it's the way
Yeah.
to sound the most imperial.
Right.
There were no stim packs or other medical supplies with the troopers.
Nope.
Okay.
It's the Imperial military. You think they value their soldiers? Come on.
They don't even equip their starfighters with shields or hyperdrives.
Okay. So you begin let's flip to, and I'll have a thing for this because obviously we're totally off book at this point. Eatram, give me an. I don't even ask you already made your astrogation roll because you already found it. And use that as the same roll for plotting the course to it. You drop in on the asteroid base. It takes you a half a day, as expected, to get there. When you drop in on the asteroid base, you drop into a sparse asteroid field. Nothing you can't navigate with ease. The base itself, you quickly locate it. It's a old mining structure. And as you near the docking ring, you notice that whoever built this base built it to be a long-term inhabitant system, and it's kind of an older design. The asteroid itself is spinning, or has been spun. It's still spinning. And the docking bay slit, of course, is rotating, so you have to match the rotation of the ship as you go into the bay. Once in the bay and you begin to land, you realize that the spin would probably give something like 1/3 of a G of gravity to the base on its own without any kind of gravity systems at all. So once you dock and land the ship and you get out, as soon as you touch down the landing pad, the airlock lights and the landing click off and the landing pad sinks down into a bay and the bay seals above you. And as you glance down to the sensors, you watch, and to your pleasant surprise, a light flips on telling you there's an atmosphere out there.
Nice.
Fantastic. But then the little paranoid code written into Eatram's processor goes, wait a second, why are things still turning on if it's been abandoned?
Yeah.
And he's just gonna prime the guns just in case.
So suddenly on the side of the ranker, the two guns go and charge up. Carlotta, who's on the show, goes, "Why are we charging the guns?"
Well, this is an abandoned base, yes?
That's what she said, and she points at Roxy.
No one here, yeah?
That's what she said.
So who left on the lights?
Well, they usually build these things to last. I mean, they usually get taken over by pirates.
Exactly.
Not all the time. But eventually, usually most of the time.
We'll be ready just in case.
So I guess the survivor, they're armed now with these.
Yeah, she
trooper
brought
weapons.
a group of 3 of the battle droids with her, and then she's got a group of, in addition to those survivors that she brought on the ship, most of the ones, and there's like 20 of 10 or 12 other people on the ship with you guys. Almost all of them have, if not one of their old weapons that's been recharged with one of the extra blaster packs. They're all armed now.
Okay. So they need to go explore their new habitat and figure out if there's pirates on there then.
Yeah.
So that falls under the not our problem category of things.
So do you just drop them off and start shuttle runs? Is that what you guys doing?
I mean, Shock could stay with them if, but then we'd be splitting the party, which is probably not the best idea.
Maybe we stick around just long enough to make sure that they aren't going to die while we leave.
That's fine. Yeah, we could. Well, they can start doing a sweep while we unload the.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see if we get attacked when we start kicking them out.
You drop the ramps. Carlotta sends the battle droids in ahead, and as she's sitting there, she hollers back up. She goes, "Eatram, can you run a life scan?"
Sure can.
So you flip on a real quick scan. The only life signs you pick up are yours.
No asteroid worms?
Nope. No asteroid worms.
It's
No
filled
space
to the
slugs.
brim with battle droids then, right? Just beyond that first door.
Yeah, no space slugs, nothing. So within about 20 minutes, the droids report they've checked the first 4 or 5 rooms, and they're clear. The rest of the party spans out, or the group spans out and starts inspecting. Carlotta quickly locates the control center. She reports back that though this mining facility was in fact abandoned, they did not strip it, they just shut it down. So everything is here that they need to survive except for food, and they can use a few spare parts, and she starts putting together a list of things that some of the stuff that they already brought with them that they thought they might need, other things, because the base itself, she determines, is probably serviceable for at least a good month or 2 without needing once their whole group is here, without needing anything major other than food supplies as soon as possible.
All right. Cha-ching.
It's a start.
I guess we head back to pick up another group then.
So in Theater of the Mind, it takes you 3 or 4 days of runs back and forth. shuttling groups back and forth. Carlotta comes back and forth, comes back one at a time and gets stuff out of her lab and things like that. Surprisingly, she takes a couple of the Nexu with her.
Good riddance, I say.
I
would have butchered them for the meat.
You'll know that's not what she's planning on doing. They do bring some other animals and stuff that they were keeping as livestock with them, food, supplies, like that. So within 4 days, you have emptied the retreat out, and they've all done. For the most part, the crew is quite happier with the new location, if nothing more than the fact that they actually have heat and light and power that's not provided by a campfire.
The lack of tree octopi goes a long way too.
Yeah, that does make things a lot better. I mean, there are some that you can tell are uncomfortable. The few children that are among them are just awestruck with it, and they're just everywhere. The droids, they have managed to find a small store of repair materials and stuff, and Carlotta and this group is getting the base back up and running as much as they can to support them while they're here. So the biggest thing that they need would be food, and they're going to need that soon.
On one of those trips, Eatram's gonna wonder, like, would it be worth it to, send a message to Riom to let him know, hey, these people are still alive, and if you could shuttle some food over, or are we still trying to keep them quiet from him at the moment?
Because he has no idea they're survivors, right? He only knows there's a wreck. Yeah.
Yeah, all he knows is there's a wreck.
Are any of the survivors angling to go back with us to meet him?
Harsal intends to go back with you, along with his droid IT, which has been helping coordinate a lot of this throughout the entire time. And they want to take 2 or 3 other people that he wants to take with him, basically his guards kind of thing, his retinue. Carlotta and the others plan to stay at the asteroid base until they know it's safe.
Quick question. Did anyone execute the Imperial officer yet?
No.
I think we just brought him with us.
I'm gonna highly suggest to Harsel we execute him because he's seen all our faces. And
so you do that on one of the probably your first trip back after you identify where the base is at and that it's safe and a good place to do. Surprisingly, Harsal has no problem with this at all, and the officer is executed.
Good. He shot me.
That's harsh, though. Executing prisoners. That's different than killing somebody in combat.
What? He could... If he says that we were part of this...
No. I fully
salvage.
I fully understand the reasons for doing it. I think Shock would just be morally uncomfortable with it.
You'll grow out of it.
Being an ex-mercenary... Mercenaries don't like the idea of... if they give up and get captured, then they might be subsequently executed. They like the idea of they give up, they get captured, and they get traded back to their to their side for a ransom or whatever.
So you get to see a little bit more of the bloodthirstier side of Roxy than you have in the past.
Yeah, Roxy.
Granted, you really just kind of met each other like what, maybe 2, but maybe a month ago.
Yeah, I guess game time. Yeah.
Yeah, this is also completely discounting the fact that if the dude had stood back up rather than passing out, I was going to spear him on the front of the speeder bike. So maybe this was the better way to go.
So with everybody relocated and from the asteroid base, I assume you leave to go... Well, the question is, do you reach out to Riom with a hyperspace message, with a long-range message?
I mean,
Paranoid Eatram, can we encrypt or secure this message?
Yes.
Because it would suck to put these people somewhere just to leave them to get caught from someone else.
Well, we don't have to say where we send them.
I'm just thinking because if we're gonna be requesting, food or pickup or whatnot for these people,
So when you're having that discussion, because I'm sure a lot of discussions are around Harsal because he's in charge of the group. What you want to do? IT speaks up.
So, it would be easy to encrypt a message to Master Real. I could use one of our standard corporation transcriptions if you would desire.
Let's get a message out then.
So what's the message?
Well, I mean, he's going to find out about survivors because we're bringing a half a dozen back with us. So we might as well give him a heads up that we found. We could say it cryptically, like we found IT's owner or something like that, and he's alive.
And we
Okay.
found your prize. Maybe something like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you obfuscate what the message is so that it's not obvious to anybody listening in, but that, hey, we found the Sonalore and the survivors. The message that comes back, it takes a bit for it to translate, get there and get back. It's probably about your third or fourth trip as you run the last group in that you get a response back from him to your ship. And his response is, excellent news. Meet at rendezvous point as established earlier.
Okay. Well, so once we're through the ferrying process, we could start heading for the rendezvous point immediately, right?
Yes.
Because we've already put our salvage beacon up, etc. So we don't need to go back to the Sonalore.
That's true. So then what I will need from Mr. Yeatram is a average astrogation check to see how well he plots the course to the next destination.
Can I assist?
Yes, of course. That will give him
I was
a bonus.
just about to ask for that. Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, at some point, someone happens into your engine room and ask why there's a astromech droid in here turned off.
Is it in the engine room? I thought I put him in the toilet.
Oh, that's right. It was the
Yeah, he's
toilet.
in the toilet.
in the
It is,
toilet, yeah.
They asked why there's an astromech droid parked in the toilet.
Oh man,
the
that's a
heck?
great question.
How did he get there? Oh,
Anyways,
He
how
must
about that
be more-
astrogation roll?
Okay. Oh, look at that. So you're not going back to the station that you left before. You're not going back there. You're going to a different location. You're going to a place called Raxus Prime. It's a 7 days back to the rim and then another day jump to get, or another 2 days jump to get there. So total a 9-day jump on a class 1 hyperdrive. So it's going to take you 18 days to make this jump. So needless to say, any injury you have, if it's less than 18, you could go back to full health and clear any strain that you might currently have.
Except for me, I'm still 2 up,
You're
right?
still down 2 because,
yeah. That's nice.
So you make the jump out, and let's stop right there for a second. I've already.
Oh, you
given
forgot. You forgot to mention we get all our spell slots back too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
By the way, just out of curiosity, whose criminal tag did I spray all over the site?
You tell me.
So I'll probably do one of the pirate groups. Oh, sort of like not one of the syndicates that works with the Empire, like Black Sun. So
How
How about the? Don't we owe the Hutts a lot of money?
I was thinking more like Cortaba Syndicate.
You could do that one. Another one that comes to mind. Hold on, I'm looking for the proper name here. Give me a second.
Crimson Dawn.
No. This is a smaller group I'm thinking of that you would be aware of. Except I gotta wait for my thing to refresh so I can get it in my notes. There we go. There are two that comes to mind that operates out here on the Outer Rim that you could easily blame this on. One is a group called the Veiled Sorority. That's the one you used to belong to. And the other is a group
Okay.
called the Zan Consortium.
I feel I'll use the big one. I'm going to use Zan.
Okay. The Zan Consortium? Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to find out it's me. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Looks over shoulder to check he's not there.
Yeah, they'll there. Okay, so while now I had already given you some of the XP for this part of your story, but there's some I had not given you. So, since you were able to gain the trust of Captain Carlotta and his group, I'm going to give you 5 XP for that. You did manage to save the retreat from the Imperials, 10 for that. And then you found this asteroid base. I'm going to give you another 5 for that, so that you guys are picking up another 20 experience points.
Nice.
All right.
Now, it's an addition. So you guys rocked out on this section because you already picked up experience points from getting in the nebula and all that, because we did that. I did that partway through. I actually had marked these in gold, so I remember which ones I had not awarded. So
Yeah, you gave us some on the. Was it really December 5th the last time we played? I thought we played since then.
We played once since then, but you hadn't done anything as far as to finish up a section.
Oh, right. So so December was the last time we got any XP.
The XP, yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So let me bring a few things available for you here. Give me a second. Player information, galaxy info, planets and moons. There it is. I am making available for you as soon as I remember how to do it. There it is.
I imagine it's planets, moons.
Yep. You should have a new one become available. I'm going to show a player so you can see it. You should see it on the screen now. If you don't, go look under planets and moons in the galaxy information in the book. There's a new place called Raxus Prime. I put up on the screen so our viewers can see it. The place that you were told to jump to, and that's where we'll pick up in our next session, but the place you were told to jump to is a place called Raxus Prime. Raxus Prime is a junk world. It is quite literally one of the dumps of the galaxy. It's where a lot of the Imperial space junk is taken and dumped onto the planet, and then there is huge Imperial droid smelters that comb the planet and break the wreckage and whatever's dumped on it down into component parts and recycle it and melts it down into raw ores and things like that. Having said that about the planet, obviously one of the things it doesn't have is it's probably not the best place to live in the galaxy, because it's full of industrial toxins and pollutants and things like that. You name it, you can find it on this world somewhere, probably, if you look in the right pile of trash. So basically, you're going to the dump of the Empire.
Quick question: wasn't Raxus in one of the old Star Wars games? Wasn't the one that the Sith bombed into the ground?
Well, that it was.
Just out of character, I just remembered it from the games, and I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually a nice world.
Yeah, when it started, yeah, it was.
It was the Coruscant of the Outer Rim.
So, as you're headed to Raxus Prime, as you drop out of 18 days in hyperspace, at this point you're probably tired of listening to each other. I'll get the introduction done, and that's where we'll pick up in our next session. The ship drops out of hyperspace toward the surface. You see below you an unending wasteland of wreckage. Junk piles and trash create their own landscape of winding canyons. There's sickening pools of sludge and lakes of oil and fuel and things like that. Building-sized recycling droids walk in the piles, using their massive claws to feed their maws and produce new raw components from it. A haze of hazardous gases cover the planet, changing color depending on what fume is leaking out of what wreckage or vessel on the surface. Just as you fly, as you begin to descend in, off to the right, you see the outlines of a destroyed Imperial Star Destroyer. Suddenly, on your console, Eitrim, you get a ping. When you glance down, the proximity alert's going off. 4 small ships appear to be approaching in pairs. They're moving fast.
See, now this is what I've been waiting for.
What idiot did that?
Did what?
What idiot blew up an Empire Star Destroyer?
And that's where we'll pick up in 2 weeks.